Over 1,000 years ago, China introduced the first known paper currency. This marked a significant evolution in monetary systems worldwide. The introduction of paper money simplified transactions compared to bulky coins. This early form of paper currency was not backed by any physical commodity like gold. The value of the currency was instead maintained by the issuing authorities' credibility. The value of ancient Chinese paper currency was based on trust. This trust was primarily directed towards the emperor and the state. The currency's value also relied on the promise it held. This promise guaranteed that the paper represented real value. This trust-based system facilitated greater transactional flexibility. It also enhanced efficiency in economic exchanges. Paper money was readily adopted by merchants in ancient China. Paper money greatly facilitated trade and commerce due to its convenience. Armies benefited from the ease of transporting paper money compared to heavy coins. This logistical advantage allowed armies to move faster and more efficiently. The introduction of paper money in ancient China brought new economic challenges. A primary challenge was the risk of inflation. Dynasties often printed more money to finance wars and public projects. This increase in the money supply led to a decrease in the currency's value. The devaluation of currency reduced the purchasing power of the people. Inflation became a significant economic problem for the dynasties. Overprinting of currency can lead to soaring prices. This inflation contributes to economic instability. Hyperinflation can cause economies to collapse. Loss of confidence in the currency exacerbates the economic crisis. Centuries later, European banks began utilizing promissory notes. Promissory notes were paper documents. These notes represented a promise to provide gold. However, the gold promised was often not fully delivered. This practice introduced a fractional reserve system. Initially, notes represented a promise of underlying value, such as gold. Over time, the perception of this promise shifted. The promise itself gradually transformed into the primary product. The perceived value of the note became more significant than the actual gold it symbolized. This perceived value fueled the acceptance and widespread use of the notes. The note's utility was thus driven by belief rather than intrinsic worth. Central banks emerged to regulate and manage currency. These institutions played a key role in monetary policy. Governments began to exert greater control over monetary affairs. This shift marked a significant evolution in financial governance. Over time, the direct link between currency and gold diminished. This shift marked a move away from commodity-backed currencies. Currencies became less reliant on physical commodities like gold. Instead, their value increasingly depended on governmental authority. Governmental authority and regulation began to underpin currency value. This transition signified a fundamental change in monetary systems. By the 20th century, fiat currency became the dominant form of money in most countries. Fiat money is distinct because it lacks intrinsic value. Unlike commodity money, fiat currency is not made of a valuable material. Its value is derived solely from the decree of the issuing government. The stability of fiat money depends on the authority and credibility of the state. Fiat currency enabled unprecedented levels of economic expansion. It facilitated the accumulation of substantial debt. Fiat currency streamlined global trade processes. Transaction efficiency increased significantly with fiat systems. Global trade reached scales previously unattainable. This expansion was driven by the ease of transactions under fiat currency. Fiat systems can make economies more fragile compared to other systems. A crisis of confidence in the government can destabilize the system. Similarly, a crisis in the economy can also lead to a system crash. The stability of fiat systems is heavily reliant on public trust and economic performance. During the 20th century, economic policies evolved significantly. Inflation became a tool used by governments to influence economic activity. Deflation was also employed, though often with different goals and consequences. Currency manipulation emerged as another instrument in economic statecraft. These tools were sometimes used as economic weapons during conflicts. Paper money is progressively becoming obsolete in modern transactions. Digital alternatives are increasingly replacing traditional currency. Numbers on screens represent monetary value in digital systems. Digital wallets provide a virtual space for storing and managing digital funds. Decentralized cryptocurrencies are emerging as a novel form of digital money. Despite technological advancements, the fundamental concept of money remains unchanged. Money's value is not derived from its physical form, such as metal or paper. Instead, money's value is rooted in collective belief and trust. This trust allows money to function as a medium of exchange and a store of value. A moderate inflation rate, approximately between 2 to 3%, can act as a catalyst for economic activity. This level of inflation encourages both spending and investment within the economy. Businesses are incentivized to expand their operations due to the increasing demand. Consumers are more inclined to make purchases promptly rather than delaying them. The anticipation of rising prices motivates consumers to spend sooner. This proactive spending and business expansion collectively stimulate economic growth. Hyperinflation is defined by an exceptionally high and accelerated rate of price increases. This economic phenomenon can have devastating effects on a country's financial stability. One major consequence is the rapid erosion of savings, diminishing the value of individuals' and businesses' assets. Hyperinflation also leads to an unsustainable increase in the cost of living. Basic necessities become unaffordable for many, creating widespread economic hardship. Overall, hyperinflation destabilizes the economy and undermines financial security. Deflation is defined as a sustained decrease in the general price level of goods and services. Unlike inflation, deflation can also pose significant economic challenges. A key issue is that consumers may postpone purchases. This delay is driven by the expectation of lower prices in the future. As a result, overall demand in the economy decreases. This decreased demand can lead to economic stagnation or even recession. Currency manipulation involves a government intervening in foreign exchange markets. The goal is to lower the value of the country's currency. A weaker currency can make a country's exports more competitive in international markets. This can lead to increased demand for the country's products and services. However, currency manipulation can also disrupt international trade relationships. It may be viewed as an unfair trade practice by other nations. Digital wallets and mobile payment systems provide enhanced convenience for transactions. These systems enable quick and easy payment processes. Efficiency is a key advantage of using digital wallets. Mobile payment platforms generate substantial data volumes. This data can be analyzed to understand consumer behavior patterns. Analyzing transaction data provides insights into purchasing habits and preferences. Decentralized systems like cryptocurrencies offer an alternative to traditional finance. These systems are designed to operate independently of financial institutions. They also aim to bypass government control through decentralized mechanisms. Cryptography and blockchain technology ensure system security and transparency. Erosion of trust in a currency or financial system can be extremely difficult to reverse. Loss of trust often stems from doubts about the government's economic management. This doubt can lead to widespread instability within the financial system. Uncertainty in the financial system can further undermine public confidence. Restoring faith requires consistent and transparent economic policies. Central banks are essential for maintaining trust in the financial system. They achieve this by implementing sound monetary policies. Clear communication from central banks also helps to build trust. These actions stabilize prices and promote economic growth. The evolution of money has significantly streamlined global trade processes. Money provides a standardized and efficient medium for international exchange. This standardization enables countries to specialize in producing goods and services. Specialization is based on comparative advantage, enhancing overall economic efficiency. The future of money is expected to incorporate more digital systems as technology advances. Decentralized systems are also likely to play a significant role in future monetary forms. Despite technological advancements, trust remains a fundamental principle. Trust is essential for the stability of any form of currency, digital or otherwise. Acceptance of any currency relies on the underlying trust placed in its system.